Welcome back to Origami Snowman. My name is Matt. I'm going to share a book that I just read. Yeah, I went into this with literally no plan. I grabbed a book and I sat down. I don't even know what I'm going to say about it. But I just finished this book. This is a book that I found at the library. Sometimes our library will take books that no one is checking out and they will sell them for next to nothing, 25 cents. 5 for $1, that kind of thing. And I go there all the time, and I've come away with loads of books for real cheap. This one, I didn't know anything about it. I'd never heard of it. I just kind of, I liked the look of it. It has a nice, simple title. It has terrific black foredges. I love that little bit of detail. It caught my eye, and I 100% judged this book by its cover. Mostly I thought, that'll look good on a shelf. Yeah, why not? Even if it's not a good read, it'll look cool. So I got it, put it on my shelf. My youngest saw it, said, I think somebody, one of my friends is reading that or has read it. Or anyway, so after reading it, it got a thumb up from my youngest. And I thought, well, shoot. As a dad, I need something to talk to my kids about. There's never enough things to connect me to my kids. So I thought I'll read it, and at the very least, I can have a conversation. I wasn't expecting much, but boy, was I wrong to do so. Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I don't know if I'm saying any of that right, but Six of Crows, it's a great book. It's such a... I'm going to tell you right out of the gate, I wasn't expecting much. I think I maybe made that very clear when I started talking about it. Mostly when I opened the book, Part 1, Shadow Business. Chapter 1, each chapter, I should say, is titled with the name of the character from whose perspective it is told. And that first chapter is... titled Joost or Joost, I don't know, but it's Joost, and I am a dumb white guy, and so I just say things the way they look, and so that character's name was Joost, and I was immediately like, oh no, this isn't gonna go well. Doesn't matter, spoiler alert, he's not a problem for very long. So once I got past that, I caught myself just really, really interested in the characters. The plot of this book, it's basically a heist. It's a big heist story, which is always fun, as long as they keep it, believable and a little bit simple. But the author was very, very smart about keeping it... The plot is very secondary. That's not a good reason to read this book. If it was just about the heist, I would say give it a pass. There are other better heist stories, better crime novels. But the world building is terrific. There's a whole series. I think this author wrote the Grisha trilogy, and I know that because it says right there on the cover. There's a whole series of books set in this world. I think I'm going to look into them because I really enjoyed the world building. It was just complicated enough that I understood it was a big, vast, sprawling world. But she didn't share so many details that I felt overwhelmed. It was just focused on the relevant points for those characters. And I loved that because this is not a humongous book. It's not a Brandon Sanderson sized book. This is 465 pages long. It's a good read. It's a slog, but it's not like, you don't have time to make this your entire personality. And somehow she packed in so much attention to the characters. And there are 6 characters that are among part of this heist, Six of Crows. And they each get enough attention that you feel like these are well-rounded, very three-dimensional characters. And it was so well done. It was so well done. So there were some moments that were a little bit like, okay, action movie kind of fantastic, very, oh, well, this relied too heavily on a coincidence, but it was never so thick. The irony or like the happenstance was never so thick that I felt at any point in time like walking away. The characters are fantastic. So the character work, A++. Her weak spot, I would say, the weak spot is how she writes action. Some of the dots that she tries to connect, I couldn't quite get a grip in my head of where certain things were laid out, where people ended up when they jumped, how someone was, taken down with a grapple. There were just some things that I couldn't see in my head as I was reading it. That might be a me problem, it might not. However, what I really appreciated was that she seems to understand what her limitations are, and she did not ever come up with a situation that needed you to understand. I never felt like, okay, hang on, I gotta go back and I gotta read that again. I really gotta wrap my head around this. It was all done in a sense of like, hey, listen, we're enjoying this, so let's not make a lot of what's gonna happen. Just understand that wherever they end up, that's where they ended up. So we're okay with that. Don't read too much into it. Don't get too crazy. I appreciated that. This is exactly the kind of book I needed at exactly the right time. So, Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Highly recommended. I don't know what else she's written. Author of the Grisha trilogy, so I'm guessing 3 other books. And I do know, okay, this is the first book in a duology. The second book, I think, is called Crooked Kingdom or Crooked Cast, Crooked something. There is something crooked about the next book. I don't know. I do know it has been floating around here. It was a library book and it went back right about the time I was ready to read it. So I don't know anyway about that. So highly recommend it. Six of Crows, Leigh Bardugo. It was great. It totally surprised me. It just kind of waltzed into my life unexpectedly and was quite good. So if you like books about characters and their relationships, they really, really, really do a good job with the relationships. Intertwining them, not making them feel just too over the top or too, I don't know how it all managed to fit into this book. She found the details that were relevant and she put them on paper. Congratulations, you got me. That was amazing. So excellent, excellent character work in this book. If you like books with characters, like good, memorable characters, Six of Crows, Leigh Bardugo. That is my recommendation for you today, here and now. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you. I love y'all to pieces, and I will see you in the very next video. Goodbye.